So your wife is a Midwesterner also, Joe
Yeah,
Campanella?
yeah. She was actually born in Evanston, but she was raised in Peoria, Illinois. And then her family, about 5 years ago, 6 years ago, moved back to the Chicago area.
And where is your home originally?
Originally, I was born and raised in New York City, right on Manhattan Island. And up until 2 years ago, we were official residents of New York. Now we're residents of, well, about a mile from this hotel, right around the corner in Toluca Lake.
Yeah, so this makes it very convenient for you
Oh,
to be in the series, The Bold Ones. What is your role actually, Joe?
well, I play a lawyer. Jim Ferrantino and I are brothers in a law firm where the senior partner happens to be Burl Ives. And I'm the older brother. Jim is of the kind of mod, now generation kind of thing. And I'm a little bit more staid and, let me put it this way, because the sly old fox, of course, is Burl Ives. But we all see the truth from different points of view. And it's how we implement it, or how we believe in implementing it, that creates a difference in our characters.
Joe, was this a role that you jumped at the chance to do, or did you think about it for a while?
Well, let me put it this way. I had a contract at MGM to develop a series. When Roy Huggins, the executive producer of the lawyer section of the Bold Ones at NBC, approached me about this one. Now, actors are always wary about series. They really are, because the best thing to do is not to do the series, but to do the producer. And I have great faith in Roy Huggins. He's one of the men in this business I believe in. And when Roy approached me, I jumped more at the chance to work with him. Then, when he presented the idea, I said, yes, I am excited about an idea, about a show that will deal with the present issues of the news today. That will not be 27, 26 shows where inevitably you have to repeat yourself, where inevitably you have to rush and sacrifice quality at the end of the season just to meet the air dates. Here we have three separate shows, three entirely different units working. We can wait to select the 8 best scripts before we even start shooting, which we have done. We don't have to do the first script that comes along because we have to finish one by next Tuesday. We actually waited for all 8 scripts before we started shooting.
Joe, is there a danger, though, in doing this kind of thing where you're working with such current issues and material? Isn't there a danger that perhaps it won't go into reruns and actors then won't get the residuals?
Well, when you're only talking about 8 shows, residuals aren't going to amount to that much. However, I think if you deal with issues as they are right now, uh, and if you deal them, pardon the pun, universally, Universal Studios. Now, if you deal with them in terms of universals, then I don't think it has anything to do with time. It's like the things that Shakespeare wrote in the history plays about the philosophy of government. They're true now, just as true now, maybe more so than they were then. It's because he dealt with major themes that were current at the time, but he dealt with them in a universal term. I think so I'm not worried about residuals. My concern is doing good shows, because if I do good shows and the series is a success, then I have better roles to look forward to in the future.
Joe, it must happen to you every day that people see you and they kind of know you, and yet they can't really say the name. Does that happen to you all the
Oh,
time?
it happens so often, and I'm used to it because I have played so many different types of roles, Bobbie. Like in the past year, 2 years ago I did Mannix, and I had one role, but it wasn't Joe Campanella. It was that martinet type of boss who had a very strong philosophy of life, who dealt with things in very definite terms. It wasn't Joe Campanella. But in the past year, I played a Mexican psychiatrist, a 70-year-old con man, an aging congressman who was really in the mafia, a young bandit. I've gone, different makeups, different dialects, because I'm good at languages and things like that. So that this has to happen. People say, I know him so well, but who is he? There are people who do know my name, which surprises me all the time. They must watch the credits pretty closely, because I've played with silver hair, I played with blonde hair, and my own kids don't recognize me. They really don't.
Daddy who?
Daddy who, yeah.
Joe, you're delightful to
Thank you.
talk with, and we'll be looking forward to seeing you on the bold ones. And I predict that after a few times on the bold ones, people are going to walk right up and say, "Hi, Joe Campanella."
Thank you, Bobbie. It's a pleasure.